Well, welcome back to Pennsylvania, and I look forward to this time of year. As always, we have family coming in. We're excited. The reason for the season, um, the opportunity to be able to celebrate with others, the birth of our Savior, and to play some games. And so, one of the games we're going to play shortly after we celebrate the turnover of the New Year's, got some folks coming in. Mufui, Ninja Eskimo, Crooked Legs, and Tim and I are going to be playing a 5-player game. I gave everybody the vote, and we're going to play Global Empires. So even with my vote, if my vote had been for something else, it's what the majority wanted to play. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited because I've been getting a lot of feedback from players out there. There's a lot of games going on YouTube. This seems to have taken on multiple interest, and so I see some innovative tactics, and I'm getting a lot of great questions. So as many of you know, we're putting out an updated version of Global 14, and much of the rules that have gone into Global 14 either originated or were developed simultaneously with what we see in Global Empires, specifically things like commanders and artillery restrictions and some of the units like trucks that we're now going to incorporate into Global Empires, but also just an opportunity for a little bit of crossover and continued development. And so I am excited that we are going to play Global Empires, and we're playing off the updated rules. So in many respects, this serves as a play test for both Global Empires and for Global 14's updates. Some things that I specifically have put into this rule book, and we have a draft that's running around. In fact, some of you may have seen it. It's got draft at the top, says version 2. But some things that we have included are as clarifications are the fact that you have a 3-turn or a 3-round limit on every single turn, spring and summer. That wasn't clear to some people who were playing, as well as the technology, the sharing technology with some of your miners. We've ensured that it's very clear that's each technology step. But one of the more exciting parts of this is we just felt like we needed opportunities to achieve a few more objectives to make it a competitive game. So we came up with competitive objectives. Now these are not going to be, there's not going to be a new victory objectives chart, but there are 5 more objectives that can be achieved, and I'm just going to talk through them very quickly. And any nation can achieve these, and any number of these. Making friends, the first alliance that aligns 5 minor powers through diplomacy, not including the minor powers with a reference sheet. Friendly intentions, in a 3 or more player game, the last alliance to declare war or attack another nation. Act fast, the first alliance to possess a major power's capital. Obviously, some of these may be mutually exclusive, but you never know. Here to help, the first alliance that calls the surrender of 10 major or minor powers. Now, I was specifically asked about minor powers and what is a surrender, because it's not very clear. In Global 36, minor powers, quote unquote, don't surrender if they've been aligned, even if all of their original home territory has been conquered in their colonies. But for here, we're going to go with the traditional home countries. For example, Belgium is Belgium, not including the colonies. And this has been updated a little bit in writing here, just the objective part, because otherwise surrender of a minor isn't relevant to the game. And then Silk Road, this is one I've had some trouble developing, but would love to see if a nation can string, it's almost like the longest road concept in the game Catan, if anybody's ever played Catan. But basically, who can put together the longest supply path that is secured by either a land unit or a sea unit on convoy duty. That should be very interesting as nations attempt to try that. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes. Diplomacy, several people have asked me if you could influence diplomacy. So we did include the ability to pay an additional IPP to change the die roll a little bit more in your favor. It's really kind of doubling down on your diplomatic action against a minor power. I've also been asked if we could move around these minor players with a reference sheet so that they aren't so vulnerable. So at stage 3, for example, if you had Italy at stage 3, you would be able to move some of their naval units, maybe some of their land units, secure their borders a little bit better, because there have been some incidents where a nation has just kind of piled up right outside. And if they're not fully aligned yet, then the major power that has them in their diplomacy chart really can't help them out. And so that gives you some ability to spend money and kind of prepared basically to be attacked. And so that has been added to the rules, as well as Ghost Militia off of Dreadnought was an addition that I went ahead and included because that's consistent with the other capital ships. And of course, the cost of aircraft in the new Global 36 rules, the cost of aircraft has been updated, and I updated that for Global Empires. You'll also see something we're really excited about, and Doug will be putting this for sale soon. If you look at the top of China here, we have the Great Wall of China. Now, I've already painted mine, although the colors are kind of close, a dark green for the land portion, or the grassy built up turf portion, and then a darker gray for the actual Great Wall itself. There are rules related to the Great Wall of China. You, as a defender, you're going to be able to defend that terrain a little bit better. Kind of like your combination of mountain border rules or river rules. Basically, getting across the Great Wall of China is going to incur a little bit of a penalty as you attempt to do so. So, finishing up, just the board I have over here for, and really excited. In fact, I'm going to get a little bit closer. Really excited with Doug's new IPP markers. You see them up there on the Global Empires, kind of ready to play. The only one that's not out yet is the Ottomans, but those do look good. And if anybody has any questions on how in the world I got them mounted up there on a magnet, just let me know. But we are looking forward to this game in January. We're looking forward to proving out more of the concepts that we've come up with for Global 14 version 3 and for Global Empires version 2. I wish you the best this holiday season, and thank you again for your continued support to HPG. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. See you in 26.